Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 13th meeting of the Mayor and City Council for Monday, July 8th, 2024. The time is now 6 p.m. I will call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Councilman Simmons,
Here.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Mills,
Here.
Councilwoman Clerk,
Here.
President Kole,
Here.
Mayor Sidnor.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 3, report of the Mayor and City Council. We'll start this evening with Mr. Mills.
Righty. Good evening, everyone. So, Mr. President, I'd like to start my report off with, let me take my glasses off here. With June 19th, with the Juneteenth committee, which I'm a part of. First would like to say congratulations to the Juneteenth committee with the wonderful event. It was hot, but still had a lot of vendors out there and people came out and supported, and that was a great thing. So June 19th, the Juneteenth celebration of the flag raising, that was a good event. The mayor gave us a history lesson on Juneteenth. He's a history buff. I like that about him. You can always learn from anyone. And June 22nd was our celebration at the Granville Goody Park. And again, that was a good event. We was able to hear some ethnic music, and besides the regular hip hop and country. Right after that, I headed out to Ocean City for the Maryland Municipal League Conference. We had fun in the sun, but there were a lot of classes to be taken. And I would like to say to my colleagues and constituents, I promise you dedication, concern, and excellence. And so I just want to go over some of the classes that I took personally at this conference. So the conducting effective meetings class, ethics class, municipal budgeting class, open meetings, and Public Information Act. These were 5 core classes out of 9 classes that I took, and learned a lot, and that actually triggered me to get back in the studies of my my handbook and wanting to learn more. The elective classes were disaster and catastrophic event planning, navigating the maze, a guide to securing state and federal funding grants for municipalities, leading and communicating effectively about race and equality, modernizing engagement, blending digital and traditional approaches. These were my elective classes, 4 out of 5 classes that I took, and we were able to for the constituents that we were able to, as far as the council, we were able to just kind of hang out and vibe and pull our resources, our minds together as far as just having some fun, just breaking the ice. After that, July 1st, I guess it's so hot, I'm waiting for the cold weather. July 1st was the Ward 1 vacancy in-person meeting. I participated in that, and we elected Mr. Simmons. Congratulations to Mr. Simmons and Andrew Simmons. And July 4th, I went to the farmer's market, but it was closed. So that just kind of shows my dedication. I was there. I wanted to, and please, every Thursday, farmer's market, every Thursday on Main Street. July 6th, and I'm getting to my closing. July 6th, I participated in the Independence Day Parade and the welcoming ceremony from the mayor and city council. And this was at the Gude Park as well. And we, I must say, I have to apologize to my colleagues. They saw a side of me, that security side of me that comes out, and we all, and I'm just stating this for the record, we all have taken this position, and we took this oath and we took this position to help, not to get hurt. And I take that not lightheartedly, but wholeheartedly. And I wish to, defend, protect my colleagues. During the event, the Senator Rosa Pep was being harassed, and we were right in the middle of the field, and there was no police around at the time. And so that side of me will come out. That's the side of concern that my father raised me and embedded in my heart. And when you see something, as they say today, say something. But at the time, there was nothing to say. And so I tried to assist the senator from being bullied. The individual was intoxicated, had boots on in 100-degree weather, was carrying a black bag. So I didn't have time to call anyone, or I just had time to react. And thank God that there was no interaction. But just as I defended the mayor when we had the impasse meeting, I'll do it for any one of y'all. So I just want to let you know, and that's my heart. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mills.
So thank you. And that's my closing. And in closing, the words, when you see something, say something or do something.
Thank you very much. Moving on, we'll go to Councilwoman Clerk.
Thank you. Good evening to my council colleagues, city staff, residents, and visitors. This evening, my report will be a little bit different than usual. To start, as my colleague council member Mills said, I also would like to thank the entire Juneteenth committee, especially Chair Sandra Shute, our admin Carolyn Edwards, and Mayor Sidnor for your support and their diligent efforts in coming together to help plan our Juneteenth flag raising, an annual Juneteenth event at Granville Gude Park. The committee volunteered many hours and worked collectively together for a year to host this event for our community members, and we appreciate you. If you would like to join the Juneteenth committee, please email Laurel Mayor at laurel.md.us. More volunteers and ideas are needed for next year. Also, a huge congratulations and welcome to our newest business in Ward 2 at the Town Center, Miss Toya's Southern Kitchen, located in the Laurel Town Shopping Center in between DTLR and Blaze Pizza. Please stop by and try their delicious menu options. Towards the end of June, I also attended my first Maryland Municipal League conference with city staff, council members, and our mayor. It was a great opportunity to meet our elected leaders from around Maryland and learn collectively from each other and the selected experts. From that conference, I am proud to announce that I have been appointed and will now be, for the 2024-2025 year, a proud new member of the MML Black Caucus. Immediately following, I was honored to give the first motion to appoint our newest colleague, Councilmember Adrian Simmons. Welcome to the team, and I am excited to work with you to represent the entire city of Laurel together. In between this time, I took the time to write a letter in support of and request extending our council meeting public speaking time, as well as a letter requesting assistance and community collaboration to solve the concerns of mail theft from the West Side Townhome community. One additional thank you is for the most amazing July 4th celebration that I have seen in my time here at Laurel. It was well attended, happy faces everywhere, and I must say that our fireworks last almost twice as long as DC's with a variety of exciting displays. In spite of it being a very, very hot day, our residents, neighboring cities, former elected officials, police department, July 4th committee, City staff, communications team, Parks and Rec, and DPW showed up in full force. Please know that we greatly appreciate each and every one of you because, as Kareen said, it takes all of us to make this event successful, especially Kareen. So thank you. Lastly, I would like to take the remainder of my time to do something extremely important to me, to thank my previous colleague, former council member Carl DeWalt, for his time served on the council. DeWalt was an over 30-year resident of the city of Laurel, serving as a career officer of the Laurel Police Department since 1985, for 28 of those 30 years, and then proudly as a council member. He said many times as a police officer and a council member that he felt the best way to serve the citizens was to live among them. His passion for the Laurel community, service, and dedication will be missed. Thank you, former council member DeWalt, for being an advocate and a leader in our community. We wish you the very best. Mr. President and members, that now concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Councilwoman Johnson?
Thank you. Good evening. I have a brief report, similar to the things that have been mentioned by previous council members. But in addition to that, I had a chance to represent the city of Laurel at the First Generation College Bound 34th Annual Celebration, where they had their graduates participate. I also attended the Laurel Resist meeting with the 21st delegation from our county, and then the Harmony Wellness Counseling grand opening. And like they also mentioned, Juneteenth flag raising, the Juneteenth celebration. I did attend for a little while. It was definitely warm and hot outside. So thank you to who all endured, because it was quite an event. Also, like they mentioned, the MML conference was very enlightening. We learned a lot. We did get the chance to enjoy one another individually, socially. So that was a great experience also. Also had a chance to attend with the 21st delegation, the Biden-Trump debate party held at the BJ's Roadhouse at the at the town center. And then, like they mentioned, we had the interviews for the city council member. Great to have you here, Adrian. Looking forward to working with you. You are working hard already. Glad to see that. And also, like they mentioned, for the 4th of July, it is second to none. I had a great time. I did get stuck in the parking lot afterwards because my first time parking at Cheetos, but things that we can always learn and grow from, but definitely a great event. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Councilman Simmons.
Yes, thank you, President Kole. And obviously a little bit shorter, as it's been just under a week or so since I've been on the council. Thankful again for the election last week, and also appreciate the opportunity to serve Laurel. One thing I do want to share after Monday night's proceedings, I did go out for celebratory drinks at the Sky Vibe Restaurant and Lounge there on Main Street. And if anybody hasn't yet had a chance to visit, I just want to encourage you to go. I had some Echo tacos and the red wine margarita, which I have to recommend, go very well together. And please check it out. But definitely a first-class establishment here. Wednesday was the swearing-in ceremony. I was really grateful to have my family with me that day and be able to share. Thank you to Mayor Sidner for the flags to help kids stay occupied during the event. Thank you also to all the staff who took a moment to come up and say hi. I was really appreciative to be able to put names to faces and connect those that I haven't had a chance to talk as much with in the past. And purely by coincidence, it was just great to be able to join the council right before the July 4th celebration. As the other council members have alluded to, this is one of the highlights, I think, in the Laurel City year, is the fireworks display that we put on. And that was just tons and tons of fun. I remember walking around Saturday evening there and just seeing the whole field full, all members from all throughout our community stacked everywhere. For me, it was just like the vibrancy of our community all coming out. It was really a testament to what July 4th is about. So that was great fun. I do want to mention, even prior to being on the council, I did have an opportunity to enjoy the Juneteenth festival with my son, and also the city bike parade that was held here in the Old Town area, which is also a lot of fun, and they look to every year. So I thank the city for those events. And lastly, for those who are interested, I've started something very simple, just a site at adrianforlaurel.org, just to sort of share some of the experiences and insights and also solicit residents' feedback. So please feel free to check that out. And hopefully I'll continue to sort of spruce up some things there. So that concludes my report. Thank you, President Kole.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. For my report, you'll hear a lot of repeats. I've been at a lot of events in the last 3 to 4 weeks. On June 18th, I was at the Historic District Commission meeting. A reminder for all residents that the HDC meeting scheduled for the month of July has been canceled due to no applications. Also on the 19th, I attended the flag raising. June 22nd was a busy day. I attended the Laurel Historical Society garden tour in the morning. It was a great turnout. I think they said they had about 80 members come through and tour the different gardens. It's a good fundraiser for the Historical Society. I also attended the Juneteenth Festival. Again, I was also at MML where I was able to complete the academy. So I am now officially a graduate for the Academy of Excellence in Local Government. It was also a great opportunity to network, meet fellow colleagues. I was able to talk about how their meetings run, get some different ideas for legislation to introduce here in Laurel. And I also joined the LGBTQ Caucus Executive Board while I was there. On the 29th of June, I attended Casting with a Cop. For those that have not been out, if your children do not know how to fish and you want them to learn, it's a great day to go out. The police officers have fishing rods and they will help bait the hooks for your children. Really great turnout. On July 2nd, we had the Pride meeting. The next Pride meeting is next week on July 15th, 7 p.m. virtually. Pride also has a designer bag bingo on Saturday the 27th at Partnership Hall. This past Saturday, with everyone else, I attended our very hot day of festivities for July 4th. In between activities, I was able to meet with a local business owner and listen to some legislation idea requests. There is a planning commission coming up next week on July 16th at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. Before I conclude my report, I do want to thank all of our staff and volunteers. Juneteenth and the 4th of July have both been held on very hot day with heat advisories. We've been able to get through all of our events while keeping our staff and residents safe, and we couldn't do that without the support of everyone at the city. So a big thank you to them, and hopefully our next event will be a little cooler. That concludes my report. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, President Kole. Good evening, everyone. I want to start off paying condolences to Michelle LeBlanc, director of Craig A. Mo Multi-Service Center, passing of her brother. So if you see Ms. LeBlanc, I think she's going to be off for the next few weeks or so, though. But just our condolences. I called her this afternoon myself. I know the city stands behind her. If she needs any assistance from the city, please reach out to us. On June 11th, I attended Scotchtown Elementary School. They had a Mental Health Month. They had an award of I Am Enough for a first grade class who won the award. And the award was to get some T-shirts. In the city of Laurel, we donated those T-shirts to Josie Closet to give to Scotchtown first graders, and it was very excited for that. Also attended a 9th grade promotion ceremony at Laurel High School, went by there and said a few words. Also on June the 12th, I attended a Washington Council Board of Government Directors meeting. That's a regional meeting. We talk about regional themes in our area. And also was a keynote speaker for CMIT 8th grade promotion ceremony. That was very important to me because I was a long-term substitute teacher there for a year when they was in the 6th or 7th grade, and see them get promoted going on to the 9th grade. That's great inspiration for me as well. Also on June the 13th, I was a keynote speaker for the Defense Information System Agency, talking about the Juneteenth observance there. Thank you for inviting me there to speak for them. On June the 15th, this was mentioned before, but we were there with the council as well. Harmony Wellness Counseling, grand opening, another mental health facility opening up in our area. So there's a lot of mental health providers here. So reach out to the city if you need a mental health provider. We have a lot of addresses we can refer you to, not refer you to, but give you the addresses. June the 16th, went with the city administrator, deputy city administrator, chief executive, and director Bigbelly. It's Father's Day. We was invited to the racetrack, bourbon and barbecue. I didn't have any bourbon, but we did eat some barbecue and things of that nature. It was great. It was fun. Also on June the 19th, we raised a flag at City Hall. We also went to Miss Toya grand opening there. I'll continue my report. June 22nd, thanks to the Juneteenth committee, I was out of town. I know you guys was hot You guys did a great job, so thank you for doing that. Really appreciate that. Like the council mentioned, my first conference as the mayor, in my mayor conference, June 27th was National HIV Testing Day. We did a proclamation for SLK. That's a nonprofit organization that tests folks in Prince George County for HIV. So I went out there to support them and got tested as well. On June 29th, I went out to North Brentwood. Brentwood and Brentwood used to be a sundown town. That means African Americans had to be out of that town by sunset. And they had a barrier there that separated the two towns. And Mayor Robertson and Mayor Lopez got together the last couple of years along with some other organizations and remove that barrier and has a nice park out there. So if you all want to go down to North Brentwood and Brentwood, that park is called Wisdom Historical Park. And it just connect the two cities now. You can just walk through the park and get to each city. So that's very nice. Yeah. And congratulations to Councilmember Simmons. Welcome to the council. You know, we're looking forward to working with you as well. July the 6th, of course, the 4th of July parade we had. Once again, thanks to the 4th of July committee. These individuals volunteered. They've been volunteer for over 20-some years. One lady, Tracy, she comes down from Florida for the past 3 years on her own dime. You know, stay here for a whole week and volunteer with the committee. So it's a lot of dedication. So we want to recognize her. We did recognize her at the event. There's other individuals as well, but just I wanted to, you know, put her out to the audience because what she's doing, coming from Florida on vacation and come to this city every year, her hometown city, to celebrate the 4th of July with us. So that's some dedication. So we would commend you for that as well. A couple of announcements I want to make. There's a free summer meal for children 18 and under. So if you 18 and under at Laurel High School, you can go for breakfast between 9 a.m. and 9:30. It's a hot meal. You have to eat the meal there. You can't take it to go. Once again, that's Laurel High School, 18 and under, free meals, breakfast from 9 a.m. to 9:30. And also lunch is from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So once again, Laurel High School, Monday through Friday. If you need anything to eat, 18 and under, please go to Laurel High School during the summer break. Just to echo what Councilmember Clark was saying, talked to Congressman Ivory staff there at MML. That any federal mailboxes are federal crimes. You know, our Laurel Police Department will take the call, but they cannot investigate that. So Congressman Ivory staff told me that anybody tampering mailboxes or things of that nature, go to their website, Congressman Glenn Ivory website, and you'll see an open case. When you go on the website, open case, go ahead and fill out that open case and your tracking number. And when you do that, you can let us know that you did that, and we can give that tracking number. We can follow back up with Congressman Ivory. So once again, any federal crime, mailbox, anything, complaints you have about the Main Street Post Office, you still can tell us, but that's out. We can't even do anything about it. We just refer the call to Congressman Ivory, but they still need a case. So once again, go to Congressman Glenn Ivory, the 4th District of the United States, and you see a navigation, you'll see open case, hit open case and fill out your complaint, get a tracking number, and that should take care of that. A couple of other things I met today, staff and we met with Tacoma Park, Gaithersburg, and Rockville with Secretary of Housing Day. We was talking about rent stabilization. We all know that rent is increasing throughout the region. That's something I've been advocating when it first came to the city of Laurel. I talked to Secretary Day in 2023 about that. And we talked again this past the summer conference in Ocean City, and he scheduled a meeting with the 4 cities. We was on a call there, and we all in alignment that it should be something regional or countywide or statewide. And Secretary Day is going to continue follow-up meetings with us, and we have some in-person meetings. So that's something we're very aware. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves pretty much, and other surrounding cities believe the same thing. So that's an ongoing conversation. We are aware that rent is increasing, but there's not enough housing as well. So a long conversation, but that's a good thing. The conversation start. I always tell folks, always have a conversation first. We have a conversation first, then we can write some legislation that can be useful instead of writing legislation every year and put ourselves in a bind. So we want to write some positive legislation that we can get through this. And a couple other things I have here. Yeah, congratulations, Councilman Kole, for completing the academy. That's a big step. Congratulations on that. And also congratulations to the council members completing that first summer conference. Congratulations on that. And I have a couple of announcements to make. This Saturday, July the 13th, start our first night of our Safe Summer Night program. The Safe Summer Night program is designed to keep kids safe during the summer break. Between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m., we noticed that juvenile crimes tend to increase during that summer break. So we created this program, a pilot program, a couple of years ago, and it's still a pilot program. We got about 6 nights, 6 summer nights. So once again, the program starts at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can go into the City of Laurel website and register under our Park and Recreation on our website and create an account and pick a night that you want to come to. But this is the most important thing as well. Parents, you have to sign your kids in, and parents got to sign the kids out. Right now, there's no walk-ins. You know, we'll check the schedule later this week and determine if we can have walk-ins, but right now there's no walk-ins. So parents must sign their kids in, parents must sign their kids out. And the reason that is, we want your parents to be aware that, hey, you drop your kid off in a safe place between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., and you come in picking your child up, and you're taking your child back home, so your child should remain home for the remainder of the night. So we want to create that. So that's it. I got an appointment to make, but I'll wait on you to make that call, Mr. President. That concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll continue ahead with your reappointment.
Reappointment Bharati Dhruva to the Arts Council. I mispronounced your last name. I apologize. Bharati Dhruva to the Arts Council. So I asked the council for confirmation to reappoint Mr. Bharati to the Arts Council.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. I will entertain a motion from the council for appointment.
I move that. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
It's okay.
So we hit the button at the same time. I make a motion to approve Bharati Dhruva for the Arts Council for July 8th to 2027.
And do I have a second?
I second.
Madam Clerk, I have a motion and a second. Can you please call the roll?
Sure. Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank
Agenda-
you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Agenda item number 5 is general public hearing. I will open the general public hearing at 6:27 p.m. Madam Clerk, is there anyone signed up to speak?
No, Mr. President.
With no one signed up to speak, I will close the general public hearing at 6:27 p.m. Agenda item number 6 is consideration of a bid recommendation for Granville Gude Park path banners. Department of Parks and Recreation Director Bigbelly, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. As previously discussed in the July 3rd work session, the Department of Parks and Recreation is requesting the Mayor and City Council approve the purchase of 4 digital banners for the light poles at Granville Gude Park. These 4 additional banners will complete the replacement light poles at the lake. Funding is available through the adopted FY 2025 CIP Park Improvement Project, and it is recommended that the purchase of the 4 additional digital banners at $27,395 each for a total of $109,580 from Chesapeake Lighting of Columbia, Maryland, be approved. Sternberg is the manufacturer and uses Chesapeake Lighting as the local sales representative responsible for promoting their products in the Baltimore, DC area. Each banner purchase comes equipped with commissioning and system management services. I'm available for any additional questions, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. As was mentioned, this was discussed in the July 3rd work session. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I have a question here.
Go ahead, Mr. Mills.
Director Bailey, so I went to the park and just to view the banners, but I only saw one banner there, right there by the lake, or close to the stage. So,
Right.
like, what will be the is this going to be like an additional 4 banners?
Correct. So what you saw there, that was the only at the time when we did the light replacements that's all we could afford at the time, and we pre-wired 4 additional poles for future expansion. So what you'll see is 4 additional banners, just like you saw there, and they'll all be able to be controlled and play the same type of banners and the flyers and whatever else we program on them. But they'll be evenly distributed throughout the park. So there'll be one over at the small lake side, one coming down the hill, one over by Cheetos over in that area. So they'll be spread out amongst the path.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, they look nice. I wanted to check them out. I'm an advertising guy, so yeah, they look good though.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Other questions or comments from the council? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I put the motion in to approve the banners for the Granville Goody Park path.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clerk, I'm sorry.
Yes.
President Kole,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 7, consideration of a leasing agreement for Bigbelly compost bins for multifamily compost collection. Environmental Programs Manager, Michelle Blair, you have the floor.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. As discussed in the work session on July 3rd, I am seeking approval to enter into a leasing agreement with Bigbelly to provide smart composting bins to our condo communities. The leasing agreement is funded through our adopted FY25 CIP environmental programs, and I am here to answer any additional questions.
Thank you, Director Blair, or Program Manager Blair. I do know that there were several questions that were all very similar asked by council since the last work session. Can you speak to those regarding how people can access the compost bins without technology or a smartphone?
Right. I did respond in writing, but for everyone's benefit. So there were 2 concerns. One is, what about if someone doesn't have a smartphone? Statistically, it seems that almost like 90% of the population does. But if they don't, upon speaking with Bigbelly, there is RFID technology, which again is a card. And that would have to be brought to the bin, and then that would unlock it. You would lose the functionality of the app. So the app does provide more than just unlocking. It provides a way for residents to access our composting site, to ask questions to us or report problems, and to look up in real time what they can put into their composting. So it is a really it's a very cool app, and it does offer a lot. So, but to take into account that if people don't have access to it, we can provide RFID tags. That would be under the leasing agreement. As we start promoting this, a QR code will be on the information that we send out to the property management companies and the HOAs of the condos. It will, at that QR code, will bring people to our website for composting. There, people can, it will give directions and a link to download the app either for an Android or smartphone. What I will do at that point, and we're going to send that out sooner rather than later, as soon as if this is approved, so that we can get people to get used to the app, ask us questions. I can verify once the Bigbellys are in service. I can verify the usage through the smart management portal. Follow-up will be sent to the HOAs. I'll be attending HOA meetings. And of course, residents can always call me. All that information will be on the education and outreach information that we'll be sending to the condos. I think that was all. Was that the bulk of the questions? They're all very similar.
Thank you, Ms. Blair. Are there additional questions or comments from the council?
Yes, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mr. Mills.
Good evening, Ms. Blair.
Hi, Mr. Mills.
I have a question. To me, it's almost like making trash a rocket science. Like and I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult for me to wrap my mind around the reasoning of all the technology. But speaking of technology, we do have a great director for technology here. And a new question that just posed, that it just came to mind, is why not, instead of having a separate app, when we have a Laurel, City of Laurel app, that you could possibly have this technology go towards our app, placed into, and that would, excuse me, that would bring more people to perhaps who are interested in composting and this technology. We can bring them home instead of sending them outward with a separate app when we have a app. And it's just a question, perhaps, to our technology department. Can this information be placed into our app? That's kind of a question and an answer.
Is that, I mean, are you directing that to our IT department, or are you directing at me?
Yeah, I'm sending it your way.
Oh, okay. All right.
For you to send it their way.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we can look, but the app itself, when someone pulls up the app, it will come to us, to our website. It will be our information, and we will be able to put our FAQs, or frequently asked questions. We'll be able to update. We'll be able to show the helpful hints of how to keep the ants out of your composting. So they will come back to us. They will always come back to us. But the functionality of the units, which the importance of having it locked and secured with reducing contamination, and certainly reducing the rodent population specifically, you need that interface from the app to the unit.
Okay, so why not just use like so like when I went to go look at the banners at the park, I noticed that, and like I was telling Director Bill, that I'm a logo person. So the Bigbelly, I recognize that Bigbelly is the actual name of the company that produces these cans.
Correct.
And so I was looking at the can at the park, and I was just kind of confused with that trash can, that it looks like it was a solar panel.
It is solar. Yes, it is.
Solar panel. Okay.
Because it is a compactor. So the trash compacts, and that unit, I can see the usage, and Director Bailey's group can see the usage if there's a problem, if it's overflow, if a bag is caught, if it needs some service. So we can see that through the app on the Bigbelly, the portal, this management portal. The compactors the composters rather do not have a compactor, because that is very bad for composting. It would make it too heavy. The bags that we need to put in would not be able to handle that. So it by design does not have a compactor in it. So that is one of the differences. But they're both solar powered.
Thank you, Ms. Blair. Thank you, Mr. Mills. Ms. Blair, I do have a question on this one. I know this is for a 5-year lease agreement for $78,000. So
Yes.
over 5 years, it's $390,000,
Mhm.
roughly $9,762 per unit that we are leasing and will not own. What is the cost differential for a regular unit?
It's actually $6,582.80 per month per unit.
That math isn't mathing.
Well, so that's what I had, $78,100.80 for 40
Okay.
units.
But do we know how much a regular unit would cost that we could go empty
Yes.
versus something that
Okay.
is expensive?
So yes, I do. I can give it to you in 1 second. Because we did look into this. The point of leasing, as you know, with leasing like leasing a police vehicle, leasing anything, is that it comes with all the updates to the software. It comes with a lemon law. It comes with automatic software updates, and it comes with yearly maintenance. So what keeps these things running is really the technology behind it. And if we were to purchase them, and I have this again, if we were to purchase them, we would have to then, in addition to purchasing the units, which then have no value to anyone, Bigbelly's not going to buy them back. There's no turn-in value like a police vehicle. We would still need to purchase the maintenance and the technology agreement moving forward. So let me get you the cost of the purchase.
Can I interject while you're doing that, Ms. Blair?
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
President Cole, is this something you want to table to get more information to the council for the
This
next
is definitely
meeting?
something that I would be interested. I don't feel that I have enough information to make a decision tonight. Is there a consensus from the council on tabling this?
Yes.
Yes.
I will entertain a motion.
I
Remember, the
motion.
motions to table need to be specific with a time to when we will take this up again.
It's a motion to table this with consideration to our July 22nd meeting to allow time for some additional detail gathering.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Mr. President, can I make another suggestion, please?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
get with the council clerk and have each council member meet with Ms. Blair one-on-one before the 22nd, for Ms. Blair can walk you through the questions and anything you may have. That way on the 22nd, you have enough information and time to make a decision for the city.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 8 is consideration of fleet acquisition for the CIP fleet replacement schedule. Department of Public Works Director Tim Miller, you have the floor.
Thank you, Councilman Cole. There we go. Mayor Sidnor, President Cole, Laurel City Council members. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for the purchase of 11 new vehicles to support the Department of Public Works, Department of Parks and Recreation, Fire Marshal, Permit Services, and Communications. This department solicited several quotes, both locally and statewide, with the accepted quotes coming from the Mid-Atlantic Waste Systems of Easton, who has the Sourcewell contract, number 09-12-19 THC, Apple Ford of Columbia, who has the Baltimore County contract, number 4504, and Fred Frederick of Laurel. Listed below is a detail of those vehicles to be purchased as follows. Based on the fleet schedule, the following equipment will be replaced or reassigned to other departments to address vehicle shortages resulting from staff increases, wear and tear, and new programs. The trucks to be replaced include truck number 730, a 2015 Chevy Silverado will be replaced with the new 24 Ford F-250. Truck number 756, a Ford E350 handicapped accessible van will be replaced with a new 2024 Ford Transit handicapped accessible van. Truck number 76, a Chevrolet Express van will be replaced with a new 2024 Ford Transit 15-passenger van. Truck number 805, a 2015 Dodge Journey, will be replaced with a new 2024 Ford Explorer. Truck number 729, a 2017 Ford Explorer, will be replaced with a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Truck number 19, a 2014 Ford F-250, will be replaced with the new 2024 Ford F-250. Truck number 23, a 2012 Freightliner Refuge rear loader truck, will be replaced with a new 2024 Peterbilt Refuge rear loader. Truck number 718, a 2015 Chevrolet Silverado, will be replaced with a new 2024 Ford F-250. Truck number 812, a 2014 Ford Explorer, will be replaced with a new 2024 Ford Explorer. Truck number 16, a 2007 Kenilworth Refuge rear loader, will be replaced with a new 2024 Peterbilt Refuge rear loader. Truck number 17, a 2006 GMC roll-off, will be replaced with a new 2025 Peterbilt roll-off. Funding is available through the adopted fiscal year 2025 CIP under the Fleet Replacement Project. The cost for this equipment is $1,308,597.44. It is recommended that the purchase of this equipment be divided as follows: Mid-Atlantic Waste Systems of Easton, $813,222.04. Apple Ford of Columbia, $445,479.40, and Fred Frederick of Laurel, $49,896, and again for a total of $1,308,597.44.
Thank you very much, Director.
Thank
This
you.
item was also again discussed at length during our July 3rd work session. Are there any additional comments or questions from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I motion that we approve the recommended list of vehicle replacements as mentioned previously to total $1,308,597.44.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes,
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Agenda item number 9, consideration of a fleet leasing purchase for fiscal year 2025. Laurel Police Chief Russ Hamill, you have the floor.
Good evening, Council President Kole, Mayor Sidner, and our esteemed council members. As discussed at the July 3rd work session, the Laurel Police Department is respectfully requesting permission to continue our enterprise fleet management contract for fiscal year 2025 for the continued acquisition of new vehicles for our fleet. These vehicles will not increase the fleet as they will replace existing older police vehicles through leasing services offered by Enterprise. We're requesting 15 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicles in line with our current replacement schedule, as agreed upon during the initial acquisition of services. We're also requesting 1 Ram minivan or a similar model vehicle for our animal ward park enforcement officer, and 1 Chevy Bolt EV or similar model for our public relations officer. Funding for this lease purchase is included in the fiscal year 2025 adopted capital improvement program. It is recommended that the mayor and city council approve the proposed lease agreement in the amount of $287,016.96 as submitted by Enterprise Fleet Management. It is also respectfully recommended that the mayor and city council enter an intent to lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for fiscal year 2025, as the ordering window for these vehicles is typically in August and is closed by the Ford Motor Company prior to our September council meeting. The ordering window for both of the non-police vehicles would be subject to availability at the time of approval. It would not be part of the intent to purchase agreement. I thank you for your time, and we remain available for any questions. The deputy chief is on the call as well.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move the awarding of the bid to the Enterprise Fleet Management in the amount of $287,016.96, as well as the intent to lease agreement.
Madam, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, do we have a motion and a second? Can you please call the roll?
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our final bid recommendation of the evening, agenda item number 10, consideration of bid recommendation for ammunition purchase for the Laurel Police Department. Chief Hamill, you again have the floor.
Thank you, sir. So Council President Kole, Mayor Sidner, and esteemed council members, our department is respectfully requesting permission to purchase ammunition for fiscal year 2025 to be used in accordance with the training standards of the Maryland Police and Correctional Training Commission, as well as the additional standards of our own department. We'll be writing the Maryland State Contract number 001 B Baker 9400284 for this purchase through the gun shop. Funding for this purchase is included in the adopted FY 2025 operating budget in account number 301 52571, entitled Ammunition Purchases, with a line item of $55,000. It is respectfully recommended that the mayor and city council approve the purchase of the ammunition in the amount of $55,000 through this Maryland State contract pricing with the gun shop. We are available for any questions you may have, and thank you for your kind consideration.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any new questions or comments that have come to before the council since our last work session? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, before you end this motion, I just wanted to ask the chief once we end this, if he could give us a notification of the officer that went down during the 4th of July event. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mills, is there anything specific to this bid recommendation?
So I would put in a motion to approve the operating budget count 301-52571, approval of $55,000 for this contract.
I have a motion, and do I have a second?
A second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Okay, Mr. President, I just want to clarify, the motion is to approve the bid recommendation for the ammunition purchase.
Correct, for $55,000 from the gun shop.
Okay. Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Chief, could
Thank
you please give us a brief update?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the approval on the ammunition budget as well. So we actually had 2 officers go down on Saturday. both heat related. The one from earlier in the morning was treated and released that day from the hospital. He will do some follow-up, but he was feeling much better as the day progressed. And the second officer did not need to be taken to the hospital. He was treated on scene by our fire department, and he actually stayed on duty, just had a few moments where the heat got to him. And he's fine as well. I spoke to both officers Sunday, and they appreciate the concern everybody's demonstrated for them. And I'll speak for the deputy chief and the command staff as well. We truly appreciate your concern. Thank you for asking. I will let those officers know the council was asking about.
Thank you very much, Chief. With no further business on tonight's agenda, the council will next meet for a special work session in person in the council chambers on July 22nd at 5:30. This meeting is adjourned.
Record.